Hi there guys, I hope you have had a good day. Now, Floyd Mayweather has explained that he will happily fight Conor McGregor again. Easy 300 million he has explained, and he would absolutely take that fight. Same way, same result. He said that him and Dana White are going to do some big business soon. This year or next year. He said that Conor McGregor cannot punch. He cannot punch. So Floyd Mayweather is looking to take that Conor McGregor fight away from Manny Pacquiao. Obviously, Manny Pacquiao said that he is going to fight Conor McGregor next because obviously he wants to raise some money for a charitable cause, which is obviously admirable from Manny Pacquiao. But Floyd Mayweather has seen an opportunity, I'm guessing publicity, in the interest in a possible Manny Pacquiao versus Conor McGregor fight. And he's seen that probably as an opportunity to earn a bit more money. Now, he has also said that he could fight Khabib Nurmagomedov, who obviously beat Conor McGregor in the octagon. Now, Conor McGregor would obviously be a big fight for Floyd Mayweather. Maybe not as big as the first one because people have kind of gotten on to the fact that Conor McGregor's not a boxer. He's a UFC fighter. Yes, he's a fighter, but he's not a boxer. So ultimately, he cannot hack it in there with one of the best to ever lace up the gloves. And Khabib has never stepped into the boxing ring professionally. So that would be another 250 million or more for Floyd Mayweather. So maybe he's planning on a 2-fight deal to fight UFC fighters. That is what he is agreeing with Dana White. Maybe Conor McGregor, then Khabib. So clearly Floyd is not done because he was talking about a Logan Paul fight as well. I mean, does this guy really need that much money? I'm guessing so. But the only problem is you can only go to the well so many times. At some point, the money's going to dry up. People are going to realize that he's just coming back for these big paydays. So the money's going to dry up, or he's going to get beat by someone he should not get beat, because ultimately all it takes is one big punch in boxing. And if he keeps trying his luck, at some point that punch may land. Now, I'm not saying that Conor McGregor is ever going to beat Floyd Mayweather. I'm not even saying that Khabib could beat Floyd Mayweather, but I'm just saying there's only so many times he can risk his he's going to try and fight in exhibitions now, maybe against Logan Paul. So he needs something to sell. And ultimately, Floyd Mayweather wasn't someone who got big sponsors and endorsements during his career. So ultimately, he's had to make his money up through his fights. Many fighters like Anthony Joshua have big endorsement deals. So they make a lot of money out of the ring with those sports sponsorships instead of being in the ring. So what Floyd Mayweather has had to do is earn his money, his big bucks, from fighting. Obviously, that is what Anthony Joshua does too, but he has those endorsements to go alongside that. But ultimately, Floyd Mayweather has always been a good salesman at selling these kind of fights. I mean, the top 3 or 4 fights in history of making the most money belong to Floyd Mayweather. So that tells you all you need to know about his ability to sell a fight. Now, at what point does this become a bit of a mockery for the sport of boxing? Because, I mean, Floyd Mayweather versus Logan Paul, that's kind of ridiculous. I mean, Logan Paul isn't a pro boxer. He's had one fight against KSI, another YouTuber, that he lost. So how can you sell a 50-0 fighter who has been boxing their whole life and probably one of the best to ever lace up the gloves against someone who's 0, 0 and 1? You can't do it. You can't justify that kind of fight. Not even in an exhibition, because it's an exhibition because I guess if he has a professional fight and he loses against someone like Logan Paul, which he wouldn't, I mean, they could fight 100 times and Floyd Mayweather would win, but can he risk that, losing to someone like Logan Paul? No. I mean, it has to be an exhibition. Obviously, that is why they have gone with that notion. But an exhibition, are we really interested in that, especially between those two? Floyd Mayweather should be fighting someone like Mike Tyson is, Roy Jones Jr. If he wants to fight, then it should be a retired fighter like he is. Oscar De La Hoya is looking to make a comeback. Why not fight him? Someone he's fought before, someone who's 3 or 4, maybe 5 years older than him. Similar kind of age, similar kind of point of life. So ultimately, they're well suited to one another. They both want to make comebacks. I mean, Floyd Mayweather has been coming back continuously his whole career, it seems. I mean, he retires, he comes back, he retires, he comes back. It's like a broken record. That seems to be all Floyd Mayweather does. And I'm guessing it's the money. I mean, it's the money. I mean, I don't even have to guess. We know it's the money. And realistically, if that kind of money is on the table, it's always tempting him to come back. But at what point does it become a mockery? At what point does he have to say no more? As I said, if he wants to fight, it should be against someone who is around his level, not someone who goes in there with a disadvantage already. I mean, Floyd Mayweather during his career fought the best, the very best, and won. And why not fight someone who's around his age, but a retired fighter, instead of someone like Conor McGregor or Khabib, who've spent their lives in the octagon doing mixed martial arts and not boxing? But again, if someone comes to him with that kind of money, he's not going to turn it down. He said that he's doing some work with Dana White. Dana White does want to get into boxing, and at the moment, he's said that time and time again, but he hasn't done it. Maybe this is Dana White's into boxing. Maybe he wants to do some sort of crossover with MMA fighters and boxers. I don't like that idea personally, but maybe that's the way he's going to use to get publicity on his new model, I guess, for boxing, because he said that he doesn't like the governing bodies, WBC, WBA, WBO, IBF, all of that. He doesn't like them and the way they do it, because there's so many different world titles and there should be one champion, like in the UFC. So he's decided that he won't recognise those belts and make his own and have like the Ultimate Fighting Championship, but in boxing. So to get publicity for that and for that belt, maybe he's going to do some UFC fighters versus boxers for his venture into boxing, starting, I'm guessing, with Conor McGregor or Khabib versus Floyd Mayweather. A fight that would sell, a fight that would generate huge amounts of revenue and put him on the map in boxing. Zuffa boxing, they are going to call it. So maybe that's Dana White's big plan. And he's going to use Floyd Mayweather, one of the biggest stars in world boxing, to do that. I think that personally, it's inevitable that Floyd Mayweather ends up back in the boxing ring in some form, whether that's an exhibition or a fully professional fight. I think that maybe he is done with the professional side of it. Maybe he's going to go with exhibitions, but he can still make a lot of money from doing that. And as I've said, he's not made a lot of money from endorsements over the years. It's mainly come from selling mega fights like Pacquiao, like Conor McGregor. So if he can continue to do that, make more money, then he's going to. Dana White and Floyd Mayweather are clearly having conversations about possible fights this year and next year with MMA fighters in the boxing ring, with Floyd Mayweather earning a lot of money like he loves to do. Conor McGregor, Khabib, those two I guess at the moment, maybe more. But ultimately at the moment, it seems like Floyd Mayweather is interested in that Conor McGregor rematch because he doesn't punch. It's easy money for him to make. And obviously, Manny Pacquiao is generating a lot of interest for his potential fight with Conor McGregor. So ultimately, Floyd is going to try and get in there and be a part of the ride, I guess. So guys, anyway, drop your thoughts on this in the comments below. Leave a thumbs up and subscribe if you are new. Thanks, guys.